Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Natasha and I post daily videos about anything that comes to my mind, and as I am an addict in recovery, I found excuse me, a new way of life through 12-step recovery. I am making videos on each of the 12 steps, mainly because when I first came into recovery I couldn't find much material on YouTube, and I didn't want to invest into the literature, or I wasn't ready to take it seriously, but I was definitely interested and intrigued. So this one is for my fellow addicts, whether you're doing the steps for the first time or the 100th time. My last video on step 1 was quite lengthy, so I'm gonna try and shorten this one, and if it gets views, if it gets comments or likes, I can definitely expand, and I could also do the steps from the perspective of my personal experience, so I could really go into how it resonates to my real life stories. And I'm even happy to put my step 4 inventory online, which if you don't know what the step 4 inventory is, it's where you write a list of all of your wrongs from being born. So even, you know, things that you've stolen, things that people that you've lied to, people that you've cheated on, that's the toughest one, because you have to really look in the mirror, and it's never about the other person, it's always about what your part to play in it was. So yeah, if anyone's interested in hearing my stories from each step, I'm happy to, but let's roll on with step 2. So step 2, the main slogan for step 2 is came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So for me, what that means is you have to believe in something other outside of yourself. So it doesn't mean that you have to be religious, you don't have to believe in Jesus or Allah or any of the you know, the religious leaders, but you do have to believe in a God of your understanding. So that could be nature. Some people call God, G-O-D, great outdoors, because their God is nature. Some people imagine or say that they have guardian angels surrounding them. I know a lady that has these really empowering women guides that she calls her higher power. Or you can have your higher power as somebody that's passed away, but it has to be something outside of yourself that isn't materialistic. I hope that makes sense. I know a lot of people struggle with this. They really struggle with it. If you can't believe in a God, you can't get past step 2, and those people don't fully recover. The majority, because I think when these steps are done, after step 12, you have a full transformation of character where you're just a completely new person, and every time you do them, more layers are taken off, of more layers of pain and limited beliefs and addiction, of course, mainly addiction, but the more we do it, the more free we are from our addictions and anything that's holding us down spiritually. So yeah, we have to believe that this higher power that we believe is going to restore us to sanity. So mine is God, and I am Christian, and I believe that God, he can work miracles. He can restore my health. He can take these addictions away from me. And I really, 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 I know that he can, because there's times where I've been on my knees in church. At one time I was vaping 4 vapes a day of Elf Bar. I was so addicted. I went into the church and I told them I can't do this anymore. I'm making vape my God. I'm so addicted. I was spending so much money. I was puffing all day, every day, in the toilets at work, in bed. I didn't want to go to sleep because I just wanted to keep puffing. Went into church, told them about it. God just took it away from me. From that moment, I didn't have a single craving because God took the addiction away from me. It was crazy. So I know that this definitely works. I've seen it work in myself, seen it work in so many other people. And what I love to see is the people that don't believe in higher power, when they do get it and their life just transforms, I love to see that as well. The purpose of this step is to disclose the nature of the mental illness which we have suffered from, alcoholism, and to admit the belief that we can overcome it by help from a power greater than ourselves. The mental disability of the alcoholic is self-imposed. It is grounded in self-centeredness, which is nurtured by the narcotic alcoholic, over which we are powerless. So yeah, this is basically saying that if you can't believe in a power greater than yourself, then you're just being really self-centered, and you think that you're the only person in the world and only you have the power, and that's feeding your ego, and that then feeds into the alcoholism and keeps you trapped in the wheel. So you have to finally let go and say, I'm not in control, I'm powerless over my alcoholism, I can't do it on my own and I need help. So step 1 is admitting you're powerless, and then step 2 is about admitting you need help and believing that there is somebody that can help you, because that's really important. You can admit you need help, but on the inside you can believe that you're not worthy of help or that nobody's going to help you. And for me anyway, I felt for a long time that because I was a bad person, I didn't deserve God's love or help. And that's so not true. God loves a sinner. God not loves us to sin, but when we admit that we need help and that our lives are out of control, God comes through. He comes through so powerfully to help us because he loves to help us. He loves us unconditionally, no matter what we've done. And you can call God the universe as well, or just think of it as an energy or a person. It can be anything, just something that you can't see that's up there. Those of us that have had an honest desire to recover from the mental sickness that alcoholism has imposed upon us have successfully used this power. We refer to this as the power of God and recommend it to all alcoholics as a source of healing. It renews the mind as it straightens out our thinking. So God really can renew your mind. Honestly, if you're feeling any anxiety or worry or stress, God can take all of this away, especially the mental obsession that addiction brings, which is hell. So this is just great. I love step 2. And as I said, I'm not going to read it all because I don't want to make it a super lengthy video, but I've got the little red book here that has the 12 steps in it. And I have the little red book that's big. And then I did have a little blue book that I didn't bring with me here, but let me just see if there's a little bit more that I want to bring to this. We must also remember that in the progressive development of alcoholism, the power of reasoning is slowly deteriorated. This encourages deception as to our real mental and fitness. It breeds a superior feeling of self-security. So yeah, we've just got to admit that we need help, basically. Stop thinking that we can do it on our own, because our addictions like to get us into isolation. When we're in isolation, that's when the devil, Satan, the disease, whatever you want to call it, takes a big grip on us. And this is really coming up for me because I have to have a colonoscopy on Sunday, a little procedure to put camera up my bum, and they said that I have to ask somebody to pick me up afterwards, and I didn't want to do that. It's a Sunday, I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to ask anyone. It makes me feel like I don't like that feeling of not having my independence and not being able to get myself home. I thought I'll put myself in an Uber, it'll be fine. And another friend said, no, you're being ridiculous. They won't do the procedure unless you have somebody to pick you up. So I had to reach out to someone and it was really uncomfortable, but I'm so glad that I did, because we're not meant to do life on our own. We're supposed to be all working together, little cogs. We're all from the same place. We're all little sparks of the universe and we're all connected and we all need to help each other. Even if the helping is to trigger each other, it's still helping each other to grow. So yeah, thank you for listening. I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you are working the 12 steps, please drop me a comment. I would love to see who's out there also working the steps, because I'm back on step 1. It's my 3rd time doing the steps. So yeah, thank you.